you brought up a very good example of it. I think, like, does it need to be a token? It's actually a question that a lot of people will need to ask themselves before they actually start. But I understand that, in this situation, a lot of people do have to raise funds through their tokenization. So yeah, I've always said that. I mean, personally, my perspective has always been that, at the end of the day, it needs to be a healthy economy. It doesn't really matter whether it's going to be a token or is it a closed loop system. It needs to be a healthy economy where there's demand and it actually works with the supply.
And I'll also add to that I think it's important that you give users both options. There may be players that don't want to have anything to do with the tokenization of the game. They just want to play it. So you have to give people the opportunity to do that. And if they want to do it, I mean, Chris did a great job explaining, I think, Zedrun, in terms of that, how you don't have to play the game for the crypto and NFT aspects if you don't want to, right? Like, I think it's awesome and you should, but like any game should have the option to play for free and to play just to play. And then if you decide that you like the game and you want to get more involved, then you can look into the other aspects of the game, such as the crypto side of it or the NFT side of it, and then see what's right for you. We shouldn't be shoving this down anybody's throat. It's really going to be, and that's also what's going to help onboarding. So I think really it's just giving people options and letting them choose what's best for them.
Brendan,
I 100% agree. Sorry. Oh, can I jump in there? Just because you riffed on my name there. Appreciate the call out. 100% agree. I mean, there's a lot of things that were said here. People were saying leading a horse to water. I 100% agree with that as well. Like, we have to get permission from the players and from our community to make certain changes in the game. When you're building, you can't just build and then think what's good for them. You actually have to listen to them and communicate with them and build alongside with them. That's one thing. The second thing as well is also having that, like you're saying, Brendan, is having the opportunities, like different opportunities for different player types. With behavioral and Meta 11, what we're looking as well is having a fantasy element there where you actually can unlock rewards and utilities like, let's say, catalysts and DNA that you then can use in the game, or minerals that then can be used to forge different kind of, I like to say weapons, but they're not, sports equipment in the game. But that might just be what you want to do. And then that's the kind of gameplay mode that you drive to. And that's where there's a bit more reward in it, just other than entertainment. But if you're just playing the game and you love the sport and you get a kick out of beating somebody on the field, that's super important as well. And, we've been talking about fun versus, play and earn. And I think the focus has to be on play. I mean, the evolution of that whole phrase has changed from play to earn to play and earn. What we're looking at now in terms of inclusivity is free to play, and then the opportunity to earn if you want to take that choice. Like, give them the choice, as Victoria correctly stated, is we want to, you have the choice to go on chain or not, right? And if you're there for fun, and there's an old saying, people vote with their feet and they'll go where their fun is. And I truly believe that if it ain't fun first, you're not going to get people through the door.
100%.
Make a quick comment.
Absolutely.
Can you guys hear me? This is Hunter.
Yeah, totally. Go on.
Awesome. Yeah. I want to make a quick comment on the closed loop economies, because I think it's important to look at the tokens as how are they supporting gameplay features as well, because they can be used as a really interesting gameplay component. With Colonize Mars, the game that we're building, we have 16 different resource tokens that are all blockchain based. And the reason why we made them blockchain based is because we're studying the free market dynamics of power, water, oxygen, fuel, etc. When people are trading them on decentralized exchanges for the Mars economy sim we're making. And so you can actually, we're utilizing that data to get real insights on how to mission plan for Mars for real. And, talking with NASA and various other people to help them model that, because you need virtual simulations to actually be able to know the right way to make Mars happen. And that's what I'm passionate about. But yeah, the blockchain token economies can really support that along with the NFTs.
So one person who we haven't had the chance to hear from is...
Yeah, I said something earlier, but I just wanted to jump in here unless someone hasn't said anything.
Yes, I was going to move over to Roman Frank. because we haven't heard from him yet. If you want to unmute yourself there and just your thoughts and everything, and then I'm just going to briefly talk about our sponsor today, and then we're going to possibly go to give everyone the opportunity just to wrap this up, but we're coming up to an hour and a half now, so over to you, Roman.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
And then Stu, of course. Yeah, Stu, we haven't really heard from you either. And Matt, we haven't really heard from you. And so I think we'll go in this order. We'll go to Roman, we'll go to Stu, we'll go to Anne, and then we'll go to Matt.
Okay. I think, there was a lot of points covered already, so don't want to say something that already has been said. I think we are coming from Web2 game development, free-to-play mobile, right? So we are used to have easy onboarding, and I think we have not seen yet Web3 games really that are interesting for us as gamers, but in the whole play to earn, I think I'm very skeptical about this as well. But what I think will change the industry, because it reflects with me as a gamer, is digital ownership. And this has to be tied to game design and to new experiences you can create with this. And I think that is super interesting. And there's a lot that's been talked about tech, but gamers don't care about tech, right? So gamers care about experiences. So what I'm looking at is how can you create cool or new or better or interesting game design with Web3 components that make game more fun, and then with that will increase gamers' retention and loyalty to a game. And if you have that, then you will also find ways to monetize more, and then we all win here. And I think this will happen with some of the projects that are currently being worked on. And then, if that is the case, then ultimately others will follow. And I think this will transform the industry more into letting gamers have part of game economies. That said, I'm also very strictly opinionated about democratizing the game development process, because I don't think that works at all. But that would maybe explode the conversation here a bit, but I'm happy to talk more about that with individuals who want to bounce on it and discuss it. Just reach out to me. But if we have some other things we didn't cover yet, I'm happy to jump on that.
We'll see how the audience does. I was planning to only keep this going for an hour and a half. We still have 87 wonderful people in the room. I would love to hear from Stu if you have any thoughts that you want to share on this, or if there's anything else that you want to add.
Yeah, there's just a couple of points. I'll make it super quick. First thing is single player mode. We're talking a lot about play to earn, about competitiveness, about the source of accruing assets via multiplayer experiences. I would also consider, for anyone looking into this landscape, how to incorporate a form of reward system that works in a single player mode. So that's the first thing. Second thing I'll say is user generated content is what drives so much virality, exposure, awareness of new games. If we look at Only Up, that's a perfect example of that, where virality is what makes the games succeed. I think that really, if you're looking at Roblox and Fortnite Creative, these are great examples of how you can democratize world building. And I think that when people are developing our Web3 games, if there is a room to create some form of UGC avenue, I think that should be taken up, because it helps you grow in terms of exposure and awareness. Last thing I'll say, quick plug for Polygonal Mind, head up partnerships for North America there. We build virtual experiences for brands across various virtual worlds, Roblox, Fortnite, Decentraland, Spatial. If you're interested in talking more, please reach out to me. But thank you so much for this time and this conversation.
I really appreciate you. What I'm going to do right now is going to give everyone this event today alongside Global and the Sombra Network, and then we're going to move over to our speakers to say their goodbye, to get you in their community, and then to wrap this up. So The reason why we're all here today is really because of the Sombra Network and Alongside Global. Alongside Global is a diverse ecosystem of creative and technical talent that helps brands build and power their internal content creation pipelines. Alongside solves a variety of problems in content workflows and implements the largest emerging technologies to achieve unprecedented results. It could be real-time gaming, VFX, AI workflows, or on-set creative production. Alongside Global has created an interwoven family of companies that come together to offer solutions in a wide array of pipelines. In addition to this, you all know Brendan from the Sombra Network and sinsofshadow.io, the amazing game. These guys at its core are the first. I mean, like, I'm just going to pass this back over to Brendan, right? Because you're just going to do a much better job. So tell us all about the Sombra Network, how it got started, and then do your call to action. Then I'm going to work through the list and go through our speakers. Go on, Brendan.
I'm probably not gonna plug too much. I mean, our game actually, we've done some interesting rebranding recently, which we're about to launch. So, everyone's welcome to go to us. But I definitely will be doing some pretty big posts soon about some new developments that we have in terms of stylings and also some updates to our game. But yeah, I mean, just in general, the Sombra Network is really a community-led game studio, right? Like we've talked about, right? And that's the whole point, is giving people the opportunity to build a game through a centralized, authority, I suppose, in terms of the structure technically, but that a decentralized, community and economy. And Alongside Global is the parent company of Sombra Labs, which is sort of the driving force behind Sombra Network. And together we're, just trying to create something cool, something new, using tech that, our team is passionate about. And so, if you're interested in, learning more about the companies or about, brand experiences that, you want to build out, whether it's, AR, VR, Unreal Engine, Unity, traditional VFX, whatever, just you can hit me up too. And we're happy to walk you through that just from a consulting perspective, just to chat, whatever it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, we want to create a forum on here, LinkedIn, as well as other places for people to talk about the future of gaming and the future of, emerging technology in the world of blockchain, because we do think that it does sometimes get a bad rap. And we appreciate, obviously, everybody here because we think that they sort of have the same feelings and sentiment. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, check out Alongside Global. That was founded by Glenn Taylor. If you're familiar with Glenn Taylor, he founded Taylor James, a VFX studio that he built from the ground up from London, and he's an integral part of our process over here at Alongside Global and Sombra. And it's been really great to work with him and all of the new people that have come on board recently. So check it out, and thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate the turnout and all the great input into these topics. It's not an easy discussion to have, as it's still an evolving one, but we're excited to see where it goes, and of course excited for the next one, which we'll be doing in the near future.
Profile, ping him a connection request, turn on the notification bell, and keep an eye out for his amazing content. I'm going to pass over to Matt. Obviously, do your thing, tell everyone about how they can get involved with Broadside and any other way that you want to wrap this up. And then I'm going to move on to the rest of the speakers. And then it looks like we are going to be doing a Q&A audience, right? So a few of our speakers are going to hang around afterwards. So I'm going to ask audience members, if you do have any questions that have come up over the past hour and a half of this conversation, raise your hand right now. If you're also in the gaming space, raise your hand as well, if there's any value add that you want to add, but we're going to really focus on Q&A. So Matt, over to you to take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. I really appreciate everybody's thoughts and really interesting discussion today. Look, I'll keep it very quick. So we're sort of getting to the end of phase 1 of Broadside. It's still, I think, a really great time to jump into the project. Everyone who's got a Broadside character is about to merge and burn all of their episodes into a one-of-one first edition Broadside book. If you have one of these books, we have built this infrastructure under Broadside where you will be able to earn royalties on future editions of that book as a community member and contributor that we're really, really excited about. We think, one of the really most important experiments we can be running in Web3 right now given things like the writer's strike and the actor's strike and the sort of looming threat of AI on the content industry's threat or opportunity, depending on how you look at it. But either way, giving community members and creators new ways to earn money and collaborate together around IP is something that's really important to us. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. That's happening over the next few months. We're getting into phase 2 of Broadside, and this is where we're sort of really turning our attention more to Web3 gaming and metaverse. We have one of the most engaged communities in the metaverse that currently exists. This community comes together and parties every week. We do all kinds of events with other crypto artists and Web3 communities. One thing that no one's really sort of talked about yet that I just want to touch on based on what we're doing, we think we're going to see more value accruing at the avatar level as gaming becomes, this sort of gaming as a service model appears through things like Fortnite and Roblox and other metaverse platforms that are really, really building amazing places to go and make games. In a world where it's easier to make games and where communities are going to be able to traverse between games, that identity and avatar level and the utility that avatars have, I think becomes a really important area for everybody in gaming to focus on. We're really excited about the new ERC 6551 token standard, which is going to allow for a lot more interoperability and utility of things like in-game items and weapons, and it's going to allow things to have different utility in different spaces, which we've never ever seen before. I think we're still at this sort of horseless buggy phase of like Web3 gaming, and we're thinking about tokens and play to earn and all this stuff, and it's great stuff, and it is going to change things. But there's more beyond that, and I think as we get into this sort of different stage of gaming where the avatar just suddenly becomes very, very important, not just for gaming, for metaverse, for lots of reasons, we're going to see things change, and we're really trying to be at the sort of forefront of that with what we're building. So yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate being up here today.
Really appreciate you, man. Just a reminder to the audience, click onto Matt's profile, turn on the notification bell, drop him a connection request and say hello. Let's go to Anne Claire.
Yes, thank you so much, Zach and Brendan, for this opportunity. It was really nice to see that we're building it together, and I could definitely understand the path you're going through because we're living the same thing. So that was really nice. I wish we could talk a bit more about community, and I hope that maybe in the next episode we will have this opportunity, because if cash is king, community is queen, and definitely now is a bad time for Web3 with regarding cash and investment and so on. So it's a tough time also for the community regarding the assets. But without the community, we wouldn't be able to do anything. And now we can see their involvement, their engagement, and their creativity. Why are they so engaged? I think it's because obviously it's linked to the money, but it's linked also to the creation, ownership, and it's about sharing passion. Obviously at Mainbot and with the Winkeepers, because we're talking about sharing knowledge and sharing their passion with everybody, we can definitely see that. And if I have to say what we're currently doing, so we're creating academies right now, and we are having the community engaged in that, and they are creating academies about their passion and what they want to share with everybody in an immersive world. So if you want to share about your passion, if you want to teach to others because it makes sense, well, you're welcome to join. And we are doing we are running tests again. We are having a second batch for our academies, and this is live on winkeepers.io and on Discord and Telegram.
Legendary, amazing, fantastic. Let's go over to Daniel. If you want to just tell everyone how they can get involved with WAM, and anything else that you want to share, and then yeah, we'll quickly go through the other speakers and probably close the room in about 10 minutes. So yeah.
Awesome. Really great being here. Thank you for the invite, Brendan, and great host, Zach. It was amazing to hear all the experience and the angles. It helps us also shape what we're building. In order to get involved with WAM, it is pretty simple. You just go to wham.app, but actually I would do a shameless plug about an ordinal inscription, our first inscription on Bitcoin. And I do believe that Bitcoin offers true ownership that can actually be interoperable with different chains. And we're going to do a different collection that is a mirror, a one-to-one mirror of what is happening in the industry, called Offensive Vampires Collectibles That Suck. And I hope you have fun with the concept. It's at vampires.club. And the reason we're doing it is, first of all, as gamers, we are tired of being in a purely crypto narrative where you lack the fun and you lack the social fun. And at the same time, we're hailing from the middle of Transylvania and we have vampires and things that suck around. So we said we're going to form. We had tons of traction. Social media. We have 500 million views on TikTok, and we are bringing them in as well. But I do believe that a successful Web3 project requires a Web3 community that understands, and then through the excitement, through the fun, through the entertainment, other friends come and join because it's the cool place to be. Thank you, everybody, and looking forward to connect. Just hit me up, and we'll gladly help anyone out with whatever I can. Thank you, guys.
100%. Tap onto Daniel's profile, turn on bells, drop him a connection request. Gonna pass over to Chris and Victoria from Behavioral. If either of you or both of you would like to let everyone know how they can get involved with your project Meta 11, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to let Victoria speak because she speaks so eloquently and is much
Thank
clearer
you,
than me.
darling. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll do a quick overview of behavioral, and then just let you know how you can get in touch and what you can do next. So just for us, our core objective at Behavioral, so Behavioral is the tech studio that's actually building Meta 11, which is the cricket game that I mentioned earlier. Our core objective is to literally cater to sports fans that are seeking this deeper engagement, this faster fun. And earlier I mentioned, that we have these short attention spans, but I think it's also really important that we speak to sports fans that have the desire for this continuous involvement beyond sporting seasons and beyond physical limitations. And we're doing that with these living, breathing digital AI athletes. So Chris has a whole spiel about virtual DNA within these AI athletes, and it's super cool. So what you can do with these athletes is come on this journey with us. It's an entry level at Web 2, like we've mentioned, 2.5, Web 3, and where you can own and train and coach and compete with these AI avatars. And essentially our goal is to literally revolutionize sports entertainment. And one of the other key points that I'd like to make here is that we are weaving rich, immersive, engaging stories literally into the fabric of this fantasy sports omniverse. So there's a little hint there that it goes beyond cricket, even though that is the second most popular sport on the planet. But yeah, it's all about personalizing that gaming experience and adopting that technology if you want to, like Chris said earlier, and bringing that innovative gameplay and that fun and allowing people to literally put themselves in the game. So the next thing that we've got coming up is an interactive viewing. It will be our first venture going live to the community. It's a chance for you to give your feedback and for us to iterate, and we'll have these open and closed seasons. So if you want to stay up to date with that, sign up to our newsletter. It's meta11.com, or follow us on the socials at Meta11 Official across all of them. And I don't know, Chris might want to add a little bit more onto the end of that. I'm not sure.
I would not like to take any more time of these fabulous speakers as well as the guests, but you did a fabulous job. Thanks, Victoria.
Thanks, darling.
Appreciate you both. Thank you so much. Let's move over to Sophia. She's not here anymore. to Alex.
Okay, hey everyone. Yeah, so I'm from iCandy Interactive, and we are launching our engineers project, which is actually focusing on trying to work out interoperability with different projects. So the concept is that the engineers are like builders of the space, and like by participating in the engineers, you actually get to join these builders and be part of the building process as we continue to develop this story that slowly expands and works with future partners. I'd love to work with other people within this space right now. And, all these conversations were really, really exciting. So I'm open to those connections and communications. So yeah, that's what we're working with on the engineers. You can check it out at the engineers .xyz, the engineers NFT.xyz. And yeah, so that's what we have going. I'll let the website speak for itself. And as we continue to develop the product, we would love to share more with the community. So yeah.
Thank you so much, short and sweet. Let's move over to Martin.
Yes, Zach, thank you first of all for organizing this. It was awesome and really insightful. Very quick on myself and the company I'm working for. We're atomichub.io, atomichub.io, a marketplace. So today a lot of questions were about games and specific questions around building and designing games. And so I have had like a lot of aggregated views about it. Very interesting today. We are a marketplace, probably the biggest marketplace you have never heard of. What that means is 2.5 million connected wallets, thousands of games and collections, including Game of Thrones, Matrix, Dungeons and Dragons, Stranger Things. There's every 2 weeks something new. And we have a lot of other verticals and products, including atomicads.io, which is an advertising platform. We have a media outlet. We have a launch pad, a lot of other fun stuff, which there's no time to go into. What I want to point out today here now is our Game Fest, the Atomic Hub Game Fest. And we started that last month, the first one, and we will have that again in 2 weeks. For the first prize, they get 1 ETH, and the second, and it keeps going. So we're giving out a few ETH for playing fun games. By definition, what we talked about today. So there's going to be known titles that you definitely know on Immutable X. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So you can also win a lot of money. It's going to be more about fun, about community, about engaging, about cross promotion. So come and stop by, check out atomichub.io, and hopefully see you in the Game Fest.
Awesome. I was going to move over to Hunter, but it looks like I lost him from the audience. Where did he go? Okay. Check out colonizemars.io. Ladies and gentlemen, this was phenomenal. Really, really, really appreciate everyone. If massive favor, tap that react button right now and hit the love heart just so I can see how much you did enjoy it. That'd be nice to see some of the love hearts go up here. That'd be really, really, really nice. Shout out to all the speakers. Brendan, any final words before we say goodbye and say have a lovely weekend?
What do you want me to say? You want me to say goodbye and have a nice day?
Yeah, bye. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy your life,